We're live. It is the Martin Fowler Scrum. It is a Tuesday. We have Sam and Paul and Pat and Michael and Lara. And yes, I guess, let's have Paul. Paul was in, well, people came in now. Oh, I'll go first then. All right, then, if you insist. So what's going on? Yesterday, we had a bit of an issue with the main site where the Scrums were staying live too long on the homepage and the pop-up. That is now fixed with a hot fix, and Corey and I are working on a more general fix for that. That's under control. We have gone live with the Google AdWords thing, and according to that, we have already generated like 5,000 impressions, and about an additional 200 people have clicked through onto the site, and it looks like we're having an uptick in people signing up for membership as well. So, oh my God, all the servers stay live. Goodness, oh no. So I think the main immediate action item for me is we're going to have the marketing meeting after this one, where Marufo has prepared some alternate ads that we might do, and anyway, we'll get into that in the marketing meeting. Up next, what are my action items? It'd be good to do some distribution for the textbook. I had a meeting with edX and MOOC yesterday. That edX are trying to push things back a little bit so that they can turn the course into a professional certificate, and we will see. Meeting with Dree, going to try and get things onto local support this week. There's a lot to do there. I guess the key things on my mind are trying to improve the site and the upgrade flow for people in the face of the upgrade to Premium and Premium Plus and so on, in the flow of potentially many more users coming into the site. So lots going on there. No other meetings today. No, that's kind of. I'll be off on Friday. By the way, it's my wife's birthday. Going to take the day off and take her into London. That's me. Let's go to Lara. How are you doing today?
All right, thank you. So from my side, I looked through Hanesh's CSS code that he's been working on for MedPlus, the About Us page. It's looking good. I just made some other slight CSS suggestions just in terms of your centering and making sure things are aligned. I had a Scrum meeting with Craft Academy this morning. And what else did I do? Then we just had a kind of like a staff meeting just to discuss marketing and how that's going. I've been working on Visualizer as well. I've got one blocker. What's happening is because I worked on the Visualizer project when it was part of Craft Academy, it's in my repro.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I had done all my changes that I needed to, and I'd pushed up, and then when I did my pull request, I realized it was going to Craft Academy. So my question is, do I have to delete that repo and then fork it down again from Agile Ventures?
The short answer is no, and we can easily sort this out for you at the end of the session.
Great, thank you. That's it from me.
Great, thanks, Lara. Let's go on to Paul. How are things going with you, Paul?
Quite well, Sam. Working on an enhancement on MedPlus to change around the job search, which I think I've pretty well got working now, and just really working through the cucumber tests to maybe add a few more and make sure they're all passed.
Excellent. So no blockers for you. Wonderful.
No blockers.
Good stuff. Let's go on to Michael. How are things with you?
Hello. So yesterday, do you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit faint. I'll boost you.
So yesterday I just worked on some data visualization for premium membership versus Slack activity, and I posted some very basic whisker and plots they're called, which is basically a way to view the distribution of how people posted in the weeks leading up to their joining premiumships, in terms of just aggregate postings. So in terms of going forward, because there's a lot more different data visualization we could look at.
Mhm.
There's also de-aggregating the data some,
Mm.
looking at seeing if I can figure out how to determine if there's certain channels
Mm.
that are particularly good signals
Mhm.
for membership
Mhm.
joining. Just from the visualizations, I note that it seems like I didn't actually run any mean tests,
Mm.
but it seems like the distribution kind of skews up as they get closer
Mhm. Mhm.
towards joining.
Right.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 3 weeks out from joining,
Yeah.
the distribution is kind of lower,
Mhm.
centered lower than perhaps 1 week out.
Mm.
But the presumptive tests, just double with the natched, that's called a natched version of the plot and whisker.
Mm.
It's not necessarily significant,
No.
and that may just be our inability to detect it because there's
Yeah.
so few
Sure.
premium members.
We don't have the power.
And so I guess that's about it for that. Going forward, like I said, there's a lot of other options.
Yeah. I think there's more. Oh, go on.
What did you say?
I was going to say I think there's more data that I can give you, which
Yeah.
I could work to get to you today. But sorry. Yeah. What else were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, I wanted to ask, can I attend the marketing meeting just out of
Sure.
interest and just to see what you guys are doing? And
Totally. Join the marketing channel, and Marufa has been a bit. She's shy of live stream to YouTube, but she's happy with us, recording the meetings, and so you can see the recording of the previous one is in the channel, and I'll put the Hangouts. I'm just doing a sort of like, rather than it being publicized, whatever. So she seems all right with that at the moment. So yes, by all means, please do, and to everyone, not just Michael, come and join and learn. Or laugh at our ineptitude, or my ineptitude.
so if I join the marketing meeting, you'll just post it in there, or the marketing channel.
Yeah.
Just
If you're in the
post
marketing
it in their
channel, you'll be as in the loop as anybody.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Cool. Just before I forget the thought on that, on your analysis, the other thing that occurs to me is we could be looking as well at the GitHub activity, and also the activity of just normal members rather than just premium members. One could be looking at. I mean, there's sort of a whole customer relationship management in that there's the big pool of people. We could be looking at Slack activity and GitHub activity. Anyway, sorry, just more. But I'll keep throwing data sources at you, and you use which ones you prefer. Okay. Apologies, Pat. How are things going with you?
Good, thanks. Thanks for handling the Scrum yesterday for me. Wasn't able to make it. For myself, what have I been doing on Met Plus? I spent the time I had for the weekend for the projects improving cucumber tests with a number of techniques. We were, for the past week and a half, we've been timing out on the CI test. Nobody's PR was actually completing CI tests because we hit an hour limit, and I guess that's the limit for free accounts. So now, so now we're down to about 27 minutes.
No, it sounds. Oh well, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think there's still improvement to go. And I did implement insights so I can see the top 5 easily in terms of time. So I'm going to push people to take stories to attack them individually at this point. But at least we're not failing on CI tests. We can move PRs through, etc.
Right.
And again, I think it's good just software engineering stuff. If people want to take it, it's a good thing to just exercise some basics software engineering
Good refactoring
skills.
basically.
Absolutely. Yep. I had a peer programming session yesterday with Sugu on a project, a story he's working on Met Plus. I reviewed multiple PRs yesterday, finally, when I got some time in the evening, and I merged some of them. We've got UI stories coming in, and Laura, what I'm doing is I'm probably doing the first pass of review on some of those stories, and then I'm asking you to bless them or not. Once I'm done throwing them back to the developer if there's any changes needed. But overall, I'm hoping we can get some significant UI stuff in place by next Monday when we'll have a client meeting and show them what we're doing there. And so everybody's, Hinesh is working hard on it. Arun's working on a significant one. He's working on the Contact Us, which has got the reCAPTCHA and a user form and all that stuff in there. So it's moving forward. On SHF, we had a team meeting on Friday. I didn't get to mention that yesterday because I missed the Scrum. That project's coming together. We did go over how we do sprint reviews, how we do sprint planning, how we have regular client meetings. Looks like we're going to have a client meeting every 2 weeks, starting Tuesday, a week from now. So it's starting to firm up as a real project using real agile methodology, which I like to see. Once we get there and we're having regular client meetings and stories are coming in, I will start to recruit new members from Agile Ventures to join the project. Right now it's just Susanna, Ashley, and myself for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's ready to bring in a bunch of other people because we just don't have the stories or the structure or the methodology in place. But we will soon. And that's it for me. No blockers.
Oh, great report. Thanks, Pat. I was just going to ask on the improving the cucumber. Did you get a sense of what was obviously you that's great. You've knocked 50% off it. Was there a sense of what was it all just like everyone was a completely different sort of slowdown, or there was some kind of theme to what was causing the slowness?
The most significant thing causing slowness was background data, excuse me.
Oh, really?
And so we'd have a huge block of background data that's got to be created, and we'd have 13 scenarios. And we would stop at creating the background data. And one in particular, when we were creating jobs, which is quite complex, multiple objects being created, we sit there for 30 seconds while 5 jobs are created in the database, which is crazy.
Oh, really?
So diving into that, you uncover things like we're using, say, a factory girl factory to create an object. But when you look at that, it's creating 3 associated objects underneath, which we don't need for the test. So I went right to the database instead of using factory girl, for instance, and other techniques. But it was the background data creation that was killing us over and over again. So basically looking at that, reducing the number of scenarios, consolidating scenarios, eliminating scenarios that are redundant. So we don't have to run steps, and in particular, we don't have to create background data for each scenario, things like that. I've got a list of things that I did in the story that accompanied the changes, which I'll point people to as they take stories on this stuff. Yep. Sorry, I didn't see that you were talking. I should have shut up.
I've got a question, Patrick.
Yes.
I think you're advising people to move to Ruby 2.4.
Well, actually, there's a story in place to upgrade our project to use 2.4. So we have to do that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're at 2.2.2 right now, and the stable version is 2.4, and we should just catch up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Am I still muted?
No, we can hear you.
Sorry, I just said that it was my children's school phoning. You have to take the phones from the school. That was very interesting, though, what you're saying there about the cucumber thing. I've been doing some profiling for website 1, and the ones that seem to be particularly slow, my sense is that it was that the background step is not directly to the database. We've got some tests where the background step is actually running through a sequence of logging in as a user and then creating some things through the, and it's more realistic doing it that way. But that does seem to be a cause of slowness, although it's not. I haven't really established if there's some things that seem to be reported very slow on CI that run very fast locally and so on. But yeah, it's an interesting area. Thanks for sharing.
We have more to learn on that too. More to learn as we go forward. Yep.
Right. Sorry, I had to take that call. Did I miss anything? We're all good. Yeah. So anything that's our Scrum. Anything else of critical importance that we need to highlight to the 5 of us?
Good.
Not for me.
Nope.
If anyone wants to hook up, I can hang around now with Lara. Should we try and address your blocker with the repos right now? And what I'm going to suggest for the marketing meeting, I don't know if Marufa is watching, it looks like she may not be, is maybe let's start the marketing meeting in 15 minutes on the hour. I will go and suggest that in the marketing channel. And yeah, there we go. So let me just suggest that explicitly in the marketing channel. Here we go. Here, let's start marketing meeting on the hour. New GC. Yes. So Your pull request ended up in the wrong place then, Lara.
No, well, I haven't. Can you see my screen?
I can, yes.
Okay, great. So because of here it is my repro, which is still connected to the Craft Academy account. But I've done my branch, did all my commits, and then when I went clone, not clone, new pull request, it then takes me to Craft Academy.
Yeah,
And
but stay there. So if you mouse over, you see there where it says base fork Craft Academy visualizer?
Base fork.
It says open a pull request, and then there's a line, and then there's like a sort of a button. Move to the left there. It says base, that one, exactly. So here, you could change that to see where it says Agile Ventures visualizer. And that would then take your pull request, and you can pull request against the Agile Ventures visualizer there.
Okay, fantastic.
So it's a little bit of a bind there, in as much as when you're making a pull request through this interface, since yours is a fork of the Craft Academy, it'll probably keep on defaulting to being that, and it'll be a little bit of a pain to reset it. You can probably if that becomes a pain and gets into trouble, you can fork the Agile Ventures one and then link your local repository to that, and there's another series of steps. But that's the short-term fix. And if the having to manually update that becomes a pain, we can do a more detailed fix for you.
Okay. No, this is it's easy. I must just remember. That's perfect.
Yes. Well, that's the must just remember is the thing that can sometimes. I mean, and it's like, it's funny because they can kind of pile up, and then I guess ultimately there's this, when we find that we do things enough times, then we need to get to that spring clean state where we say, like, how many special tricks am I having to remember to get my work done? And so, and then, well, if I've done this like 100 times, but yeah, again, this is certainly in the first instance, I think, quick fix, we've got one. But yeah, if at some point it becomes burdensome, let us know, and we can see if we can sort something else out.
Great.
All right. Great. Okay. Well, I will see you guys around. Yep. Paul and Pat, do feel free to hook up on a pairing thing there, and Lara, I'll see you at the top of the hour in the marketing meeting.
Yeah. Sure.
Great stuff. All right. Bye for now, guys.
Bye.
Bye for now.